What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Alright guys, so you guys know, you guys seen in my last video, I am done with the motor, put it all back together. And now guys, gotta take out my motor mounts. Alright guys, trying to put in these new innovative motor mounts in, baby. Let's take out these bolts. Excuse my shift linkage right there. Alright guys, just like that, we just can screw in the motor mounts. Do this one-handed, it's kind of hard. Just like that, guys. Alright guys, and just like that, the motor mount is in. The new motor mount. Just like that, the new motor mount is in. Super excited. Always put the rear motor mount in first because you know, the back part, the back piece right there is gonna have to slip in here. But everything else on the side and the front mounts, those go in last. But without further ado, guys, let's go hoist up the motor and let's start bringing it over here. Let's go. Alright guys, so you see this, now we gotta fill the ATS with fluid. It should just be 1 quart of, you know, transmission fluid. So I'll get this funnel here, put it, insert right in there, and then, you know, we can start pouring. So let's pour 1 quart of transmission fluid. So you guys see here, this is the quart. The quart line is over here. So we're about right there. So this is some, you know, transmission fluid that I have. So I'm using this. So, you know, guys see it's right there. So 1 quart from where it is right now, which is right there, not here, right there. Now it will drop down to about like right here, not down here, because this section right here is 1 quart. And so the section that I'm starting at is right there. So, you know, you have to go down to like right here. Alright guys, and just like that, 1 quart of transmission fluid has been put into the ATS. So it's the next day. She is almost done. I end up putting the axle on this side. So I put the axle on the other side. But guys, my camera died yesterday, so you didn't see what I did much. But I did a lot of stuff. I put a lot of the, I connected a lot of the stuff back together and everything. And I worked a lot on this front mount, guys. So the actual the mount itself is good, but the bracket down here, this bracket, I gotta customize it a little bit, because I think the bracket, this bracket is part for like a Honda Accord or something. So the bolts didn't line up, and like, you know, it was kind of, I don't know, it was just in the wrong place. Like this hole was just way too high. So I had to like go down all the way down there, drill a hole, you know, and everything. So like when I was doing this, like, you know, I had to like, yeah, it took forever just to customize this to make it work, because I gotta cut out the back piece. Let's come over here. Yeah, look, I gotta cut out this back piece so that the mount can actually sit in there. Yeah, so I had to do that, and then, you know, I gotta drill this hole on the side over here. I had to like make sure it's in the correct, that I drilled in the correct spot, because if I didn't, then it's not gonna work. So like the whole time, all I did was just you know, I screw this in, and then literally this thing just, you know, hang loose. And then I don't know, I was just eyeballing from the side to see where the bolt's gonna be, and then, you know, I just started drilling, and then after that, you know, I end up being, you know, correct. So that's why I drilled the other hole across. So that's what I did, and it worked out pretty good. And, you know, I gotta drill a hole on the bottom portion just to make sure I can go, you know, just make sure I just screw that bottom bracket in. Still gotta go and install this cable, and gotta make sure that everything's all set to go. Cause I got all this worked out. Got my shifter back in there, my shift linkage all back together. Got my sensors, everything's all good to go. We just gotta plug all these back in there, and I'll put this back into the fuse box. But other than that, no, everything's pretty much good to go. So far, just putting on all the little tiny stuff back together. So let's go. I'll put you guys some time lapse again, and then let's go and finish the engine bay up, and then after that we can go into, you know, the other axles and whatnot. hopefully my car starts up. So guys, we're gonna be priming the motor. This is how you guys prime the motor. Make sure you guys come in closer. So guys, when you guys are priming the motor, make sure all the spark plugs unplugged. Make sure your fuel injectors in the back here is unplugged. Grab yourself a funnel, drop it right in there. Drop it right into the spark plug hole. And what you're gonna do, grab yourself some oil. I'm using 5W30 advanced synthetic oil. So let's all you gotta do, just like literally like just dab of oil, drip, a drop, whatever you call it. Just a little bit of oil, just so that the oil can go and lubricate the cylinder walls. So you can go and lubricate the cylinder walls and the piston rings. So just grab a little bit, go to each cylinder, just a little bit of oil, not too much. You don't need too much. Just like that, guys. So when you guys are priming the motor, make sure you guys have all your fluids in there. Make sure you guys have motor oil in there. Make sure you guys have transmission fluid in there. Make sure you guys have your ATS fluid in there if you guys have the ATS system. Make sure you guys have coolant in there, especially coolant and especially oil, because those are the most important ones, because oil to lubricate the engine and coolant to make sure that the engine doesn't overheat. But make sure you guys have transmission fluid just in case you guys want to start driving. But you guys don't really want to start driving right away, because because what's gonna happen is we're gonna be flushing out the motor again right after this. So without further ado, guys, let's go inside the cabin, show you guys what's up. Alright guys, so this is how you guys prime it. So all we gotta do, turn to on position, and then you guys gonna be looking at this oil light right there. Not the battery on, the oil light. You guys will have to push the clutch all the way in, and then just crank the motor, hold it for like at least like 10 seconds until that light disappears. The light will, it will stay on, and then when the light disappears, that's when you have oil pressure. And so let's go ahead, do that right now. And just like that, guys, the light's off, and we're good to go. Alright guys, so now that you guys are done priming your motor, all you gotta do now, guys, put all your spark plugs in. Make sure you guys know where your spark plug goes, unless you guys are using new spark plugs. I'm using my old spark plug, so I'm gonna put it back into the holes where I got them from. So we're gonna go ahead, put these spark plugs back where we got them. Just hand screw them in there for now. And then we'll tighten them up. But the spark plug is not gonna be that tight either. It's literally, I believe it's only 18 foot-pounds. 18 foot-pounds, so it's actually not even that bad. So you just do hand tight with a ratchet or something. But just hand tighten them in there. So guys, I know you guys can't really see, but all we gotta do now is plug in the injectors. Make sure it's plugged in all the way. It will click like that and like that. So we'll just leave that like that for now, because we want to make sure it actually runs. Moment of truth. Let's hope she starts. Alright guys, so since this is a bill head, we're gonna be holding the throttle past 2,000 RPMs, guys. We're gonna be holding just like this for a little bit longer. Alright guys, so you guys can see, look at that, operating temp. So my car's been sitting at operating temp for a while. So I turn it off. Alright guys, so now that my car is warmed up, what you really want to do, guys, now is take your time, look under the car, make sure you're not leaking any fluid. Look at the oil pan. My oil pan is nice and dry. Yeah, see there, my coolant's leaking because when I was bleeding it, the coolant was, you know, it was pumping out because, you know, that wasn't seating well, it didn't seal. It didn't seal properly, so it was just kind of overflowing. So kind of did that. Look at transmission fluid. Look at where your axles are. Make sure it's not you can see my axles. Look where your axles are. Make sure that nothing's dripping out there. Doesn't look like anything's dripping from my axles. Check the other side. Yup, looks like we're good to go. No oil leaks. Make sure HTS isn't leaking any fluid either. Looks like we're good to go. The only fluid it really is right here where the coolant was overflowing. But guys, now that that's done, what you're doing now is what we do now is we let the car cool down again so that we can drain the fluid, so we can drain the oil. You know, drain the oil, and then put in some new oil, because this oil is just the priming oil, is to technically just clean it. And with that being said, that's all it really is for. So now that's all warmed up, we're gonna drain this old oil, put some new oil, and that we should be good to go. And then we should be good to go for street tune, guys. But without further ado, guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know how to drain your oil and put in some new ones. Know how to put to the right level, guys. But without further ado, guys, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. I'm super excited that my car, you know, woke up, and this is my first ever build. First time building a motor. So, well, sort of. I built my head, but first time ever building it, and I'm super happy that I built it pretty good. But guys, without further ado, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys next time.